Hey, everyone out there. Thank you so much for joining us today on this episode of the Happy PharmD podcast. Today, I have with us Alex Barker to discuss a really exciting fundraising event that we're going to be initiating this week. As we all probably know, times right now in pharmacy and just with COVID going on have made it harder and harder for pharmacists to find jobs, and also especially those who may be looking and struggling to find one, who are currently unemployed potentially. It can be even harder. So this week we want to discuss this event that we are starting to assist those pharmacists in need and also provide you an opportunity to help out as well. So I'm super excited about this event that we're going to be starting, and welcome Alex Barker to the podcast. All right, everyone. Well, welcome to the Happy PharmD podcast. Today, again, I have Alex Barker joining us today to announce a fundraiser event that we are going to be starting this week for our fellow pharmacists out there. Welcome again, Alex, to the podcast.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it. And I'm excited to talk about fuel.
Absolutely. And I think the first question that probably popped up into everyone's mind right now is, what is fuel? So feel free to jump right in and define that for us.
Well, it stands for From Unemployed to Employed League. We spent considerable amount of time coming up with that name. So I just want to honor the people that have contributed to that. Well, one of our coaches a few months ago now came to me and said that she really wanted to help unemployed pharmacists. And on occasion, as a company, we do help people that are unemployed, that have had hard times, and we want to help them get employed. But she kind of had this desire that we want to do more. We want to help even more people get those jobs. The job market is tough right now. We are seeing a large hiring phase right now simply because of the COVID jobs. But I think we all realize, I don't want to say having a pessimistic viewpoint, but we all know that those jobs are not going to last forever. And we also know that many people don't want to move in order to take one of those jobs. So we're kind of thinking ahead, and what we wanted to do was put together a fundraiser where we are going to be matching donations in order to raise funds in order to take as many unemployed pharmacists into our coaching program and help those people get jobs fast. So that's what we're doing. And because of it, I kind of feel like I'm revealing it all really right now and up front, but because of it, we've had so many people in the pharmacy community reach out to us and basically provide courses, access to memberships, discounts to memberships, and we're giving away a lot of stuff too as well for an insanely discounted price in order just to raise funds and to donate towards this cause. We're obviously not a nonprofit, so we can't accept donations and have that be tax referred. So what we ultimately wanted to do is give away a lot of our content, a lot of things that we've been able to provide to people, basically just at an insanely reduced price in order to cover our costs for this program. So, honestly, what we wanted today was to have Anne Nguyen join us for this call. She's the coach that's going to be leading up this program. But as some of us probably already know, or if you're listening to this in the future may know, we had a giant storm in Texas and knocked out all the power. And she's been having to, heat up snow on a stove just to get water. So she's not here with us, but she gives her love and her regards in this respect. But yeah, that's what we're wanting to raise funds for.
Awesome. And I know you kind of briefly alluded to it. So, and in terms of the time coming up with the name and just in general what we're trying to do here, where is that drive and passion coming from? And I know it was, Anne kind of suggested it. Did she kind of give you a little more background in terms of where that passion was coming from to help out these fellow pharmacists and that are trying to find better roles or just positions in general in pharmacy?
Well, I think it's the heart of our company, right? We're pharmacists, so we want to help other people. And seeing someone who's unemployed kind of breaks, I think, all of our hearts, because we're like, ugh, some of us knows what that feels like. Some of us knows exactly like what's going through their emotions and through their heads. And we essentially, it was just a desire. It's a desire actually I've had for a long time. I just couldn't figure out how to make it happen. honestly, we almost created a program dedicated to this about 2 years ago, back in 2019. And ultimately, I decided to table the project because I just did not have the time. And the way we're thinking about this as a company is ultimately we want as many happy pharmacists out there, because if we help pharmacists get a job, people are going to be speaking well of us. They're going to be able to say with credibility who we are, what we do, and what we're all about. And so the more I thought about this problem, and ultimately Anne brought it up at our core retreat. You were a part of that as well, where we had a coach retreat and we were all unfortunately on Zoom together, not in person, but we talked about how can we help unemployed people, and Anne really pushed it forward, mainly because I think she has a heart. She really cares. And we, at first, I was hesitant to figure out, okay, well, how do we actually do this? How do we go about making this happen? And so after some brainstorming and talking on the phone quite a bit, we figured out, hey, well, why not? We ask people, we'll match donations and we'll raise funds ourselves and ask for people to donate as well. And I think the donation tiers are anywhere from $10 to $200. And essentially what we've gathered here is that people, the more you donate, the lots of great, awesome stuff that are going to be giving away. Books from YFP or Financial Pharmacist, membership from JobRx and Free CE, TLDR pharmacies giving away a lot of their cheat sheets for clinical peoples. There's some courses on oncology and long-term care. And there's some giveaways as well from Functional Medicine Pharmacists Association. So there's a lot of awesome stuff in here. We should also brag. We've got some courses in there as well. We've got our summit and our resume course, as well as our cover letter course and some books. Like, we want to make sure that ultimately, if you want to donate, you're going to get some goodies as well. Also, knowing that you're helping out some pharmacists should be cool. But yeah, I want to take a moment though, just to say there's a lot of awesome companies out there, a lot of awesome pharmacist entrepreneurs. And it's because of them that we've been able to really put this together. Because while I think we've done fundraisers in the past, and that was honestly a little bit more of a vain project for myself because it was for adoptions. We were raising funds to help a family afford an adoption, because that's what I'm really, really passionate about. But this one obviously hits home for us, right? Because it's like, okay, these pharmacists they're struggling. Many people have been looking for jobs for a long time. We want to help those people. We want to get them set in a job so that they can ultimately restart their career again, and ideally in a job that they absolutely love.
No, totally agree. And I feel like, especially right now with COVID and everything, it makes it that much harder right now. So I think it makes a huge difference in putting that effort forward to help out other pharmacists. And I guess I'm sure the listeners, everyone listening right now is probably like, so, okay, I make a donation. How exactly is that going to help these pharmacists? So do you mind explaining just the process of once their donation's received, how is that going to be used to help these pharmacists?
Absolutely. So really, our goal is to raise as much money as possible so that we can help as many pharmacists as possible. What we've done is calculated our cost to help a single pharmacist go through this program. And essentially, however many multiples we have to do that is, however many pharmacists we can add to our program. So our goal is to have $4,000 raised by the end of this program, or this fundraiser week. And if we can do that, then we know we can probably accept anywhere from 10 to, if we push ourselves, maybe a little bit more into our program, and get them started in a 3-month-long coaching program that gets them access to our proprietary and research-based training modules about how to develop your career and how to get a job, as well into our group coaching program that'll be run by Anne. That'll be helping them for 3 months. The goal is to get everyone a job during that time frame. Everyone has extenuating circumstances, so it's hard to say, when or how that'll happen, right? Because some people live in the middle of nowhere in Alaska. Okay, we've got to work harder for that client, and that's fine. But we know that we may need to go a little bit longer than that 3 months, but we're basically going to make it available for that amount of time and provide some behind the scenes support after that time as well.
Gotcha. And you mentioned group settings. So I guess if someone's like, what exactly is a group coaching session? How does that, how does that actually work? And I know you said Anne is going to be running that as well. But if someone's not, especially if they're not familiar with coaching in general, how is the group session compared to just the normal coaching?
Yeah. If you've never heard of what a coach does, a coach simply helps you reach your full potential, or more potential than what you're currently at. A coach holds you accountable to your goals, helps you set appropriate goals and settings, and helps you overcome limiting beliefs and barriers that you put really to self-sabotage yourself. I have a coach. Everyone here in our team has a coach. We believe in coaching as the way to push people further than what they can do by themselves. In a group coach setting, it's very much like a team setting, right? No professional team competes without coaches. And so in that team setting, we're all on the same team, and it's the same goal for everyone. Get a job that you ideally love. And so in these group settings, people are sharing what's going on, what their roadblocks are in their path that we've laid out for them in our program. And they, in this setting, overcome those roadblocks. And I was first introduced to this model of coaching, I don't know, 8 years ago now, I feel like. And I'm in fact, right before this call, I was in a group coaching call with other business owners. So I love it. I use it myself. And honestly, actually, I can say this full-heartedly. I almost said foolhardily. I'll be honest, I got a lot of stuff going on. I don't know how to talk well anymore. What I can say is that my group that I'm a part of was a huge part of founding the Happy PharmD. I don't think I would have created it had it not been for them. So I've got full faith that Anne is going to do an amazing job helping this group of pharmacists get a job. Really, that's what you're donating to. And on top of it, you're going to get a bunch of awesome goodies.
Oh, awesome. And I guess in terms of, okay, so now we have the whole process laid out, the group coaching, what we're going to be offering. How is it that we're going to choose pharmacists to help? How are we deciding on the pharmacists that, will be in the coaching session with Anne?
That's a good question. So if you are unemployed and you're just hearing about this, you want to learn more, we have an application for anyone to fill out. Ideally, though, you're going to need to be unemployed in order to be accepted into this program. We have a few questions on there that ask you a little bit more about your past, what's going on in your career, what kind of work were you doing. And then from there, we're probably going to be looking at anywhere from 40 to 50 applicants. And so we're going to have to whittle it down through interviews. Those will be done by Anne. And so if you are accepted via interview, we'll let you know. But if not, we'll also let you know regardless. But on the flip side of this, if we extend our goal, if we get more than our goal amount, we know that we're going to be doing more of these fundraiser events. And so what I'd love to see happen is this to happen, I don't know, maybe every 6 months, every 12 months. And then we could help out even more people. For me, that's a huge win for our company.
No, absolutely. And I feel like I know you alluded to it. I think I love the part that even if, let's say after 3 months, they're still maybe struggling to find a position, that we're going to continue to help them. I think that brings a lot of, confidence in the program and definitely can help them know that, we're not just going to leave them at the end of this 3 months. I think that's awesome to include. And I know you also mentioned a bunch of different things for our donators, different goodies, if you will. How did you come about deciding, which companies would be part of that and wanted to also help in this fundraiser for other pharmacists?
First of all, it's probably going to be pharmacists, right, that are going to be donating to this, probably employed pharmacists, right? So that was the first thing. But honestly, I used a lot of my career skills and I networked. Practically everyone who has donated something is someone who's in my network. Many of them I consider my friends, and it was a very easy ask for me, and it was very easy for them to say yes. It shows the power of networking, I think. But many of these things, I mean, I'm donating to get some of these goodies as well. I know I won't use all of them, and I know some of them obviously are my courses as well. But some of these things are, I mean, they're goodies that I want. So ultimately, it's about giving value to everyone. The pharmacists win if you donate because you get these awesome things. We win as a company because we get to help even more unemployed pharmacists. And ultimately, I know for a fact unemployed pharmacists are going to be winning because we're going to help them get jobs. You know, I should have made this also clear that this whole process is completely based on research. The career development research is very, very clear. Using these protocols and things that we've adapted for our industry as well, that when put into a program like this, people are more likely to get employed than those who do not do something like this. And they're also more likely to be doing the things, job seeker activities, those things that will get them a job. I think we can all imagine that when you're unemployed for an extended period of time, that can become a little depressing. It can become challenging to even want to think about, oh, do I want to spend another day looking at Indeed or whatever job site you're looking at? So this is meant to support these pharmacists, meant to encourage them. It's meant to, you know, take them where they're not feeling great about themselves and their careers and help them elevate them back to where they belong, back to practicing pharmacy, and ultimately feeling, hey, like they have value and they have something to bring to the table.
No, I love that. And I feel like, well, and one kind of thing that kind of goes with that is I feel like those pharmacists who maybe are stuck in that rut per se of looking on Indeed or job boards and just can't find a job. But also I feel like as pharmacists, we're pretty stubborn to ask for help. What would you say to those pharmacists who are listening and, you know, maybe in that position that we're describing who, you know, probably could use some help, but are very just unopen to, you know, asking for it. Right. And just kind of on the fence to being like, you know what, you know, I obviously want to find a job, but I just like, I want to do it myself. Right. What would you describe or how would you explain to them the importance of coaching and how it's not, you know, something that you should be embarrassed about. It's something that everyone needs to have a coach.
Maybe a little bit of tough love. You know, if I was your mother or your father, brother or sister, I would say, why would you not take advantage of any opportunity given to you? Someone who is very prideful is probably myself. I think it's a familial trait from my mother. And it does take courage, I suppose, to say, I need help, especially if you're not used to being that person, or if you think you're the person who is the one everyone else turns to, that you're the one that provides the help. But who is helping the pharmacists? There's not many people. In fact, when I just researching this idea, I was looking online, I couldn't find anything like this. There are a lot of government organizations, you know, that will provide some basic training, but there's no one in pharmacy providing in-depth, detailed training about the job market, what's out there, what's going on, and how to position yourself as a standout candidate. There are other companies out there doing career coaching and business coaching and things like that, but not to this extent. And so, you know, I would say, hey, take advantage of this. If you want to remain stubborn, I totally get that too. It's good to take pride in your work and who you are, but it's also good to ask for help when you need it.
No, 100%. As we kind of close up here, I know a lot of people listening are definitely, we can definitely feel what they're struggling and know a lot of us have been there or seen other pharmacists who have been there. How do you recommend just for them to kind of do their own research and to come to a decision to apply for this or not? What are the last few things they should kind of reflect on themselves if they feel like this would be something for them?
Well, first thing is go to thehappypharmd.com/fuel. And on that page near the bottom, there'll be an apply button. So I think the questions in there are self-reflective enough. And I think if you answer them honestly, if you answer about your situation, and it's nothing that should make you feel bad, but I think if you reply to those honestly, you're going to be more successful in this process. Honesty is the best policy. We've worked with people who have not told us the full truth about what's happened to them in their career, and there's reasons for that. But I would encourage you to understand, look, this is an amazing opportunity for you. We're very excited to do this, and we want to help as many people as we can, which is why we want to continue doing this. And, if you've been following us for a while, you know that we've done fundraisers in the past, and we've been able to deliver some awesome things, not as much as we have this time, which is cool. But we would love to know as well from you what questions you have, or if you feel like if there's something that you would love to see happen for us in this endeavor. We've never done anything like this before, and so it's always an adventure with us, and we're excited to see what happens next.
Awesome. No, and I'm so glad that you guys decided, you and Ann and everyone at the Happy PharmD are deciding to do something like this. Especially like you said, there are not many we really haven't seen any other examples of this yet in helping pharmacists in this way. So thank you again so much for providing everyone with this info. And again, if they have any other specific questions, can they also reach out to anyone at the Happy PharmD to learn more about it as well?
Yes. Yep. There's contact information on that page as well.
Perfect. Awesome. Well, thank you again so much, Alex. I really appreciate it. And everyone, again, just so you know, this is going live again, Alex, this week. Is that correct?
Yes, it needs to.
Okay. Yes. So this is going live this week.
Go right ahead. The week of February 22nd.
Awesome. All right. Well, thank you again so much, Alex. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Hey, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today on this episode of the Happy PharmD podcast. I'm super excited about announcing our fundraiser event, Fuel, from Unemployed to the Employed League, with Alex and Ann. Again, please feel free to reach out to us with any questions about how to donate, how to apply for this, and also anything else regarding just what exactly this program entails for our fundraiser event. Super excited about this, and please reach out to us with any other questions or concerns. And thank you again, as always, for listening. Bye now.